here's the biggest lesson that you learn as a PhD, or if you're doing anything that's novel, whether it's entrepreneurship or anything where you're creating something that nobody else has done before, is that you just have to keep going and have self-determination. Nobody's going to believe in you. Nobody will. That's been one of the hardest things that I've had to come to terms with. It's you just have to stand on your own 2 feet, regardless of what other people are saying and doing. And that's got to be okay with you. And you have to realize that, wait a minute, I'm the only person that's driving this thing. And I'm okay with that. So you really need to, this is very difficult. And lots of people will not understand that you have to go through this. But it's very much, you're standing on your own 2 feet. And you are squaring your shoulders and you're just going to go to it. And you're not going to pay attention to what everybody else is saying and doing because they're not going to be supportive. But you have to do it yourself and stand up and do it. And that's it. Over and over and over again. You know, it's like this reciprocity project that I'm showing you. And I want to illustrate what it's actually like. So you can see, nobody believes initially. I'm getting a little more people that are following along, and thanks so much for it. But still, nobody believes and nobody gets it. You can look at all of these videos and all this information that are put out. I'm documenting, telling the story of what it's actually like to build something like this, and what it's like to be an academic, because you could see it. It starts off with, for a very, very long time. And what ends up happening, I think the process is different than what you think it is. You're not convincing anybody. You're really not. What ends up happening is that people find you and they start thinking in their head, wait a minute, this is me. This is my experiences. This is what I'm going through. This actually makes a lot of sense. So it's different than convincing and actually trying to get other people to pay attention to you in any sort of way. It's completely different. It's the opposite, where they are stumbling to you. And this process of people stumbling to you happens in academia as well. So you go through this entire process, nobody knowing who you are, nobody cares. They really, truly don't care. And it takes a long time for them to stumble into you and realize, wait a minute, what you're saying actually makes a lot of sense. And it might take your entire life to do that. And as you can see with the Reciprocity Project, I just gotta, when I signed up for my Twitter account, it said 7 years yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's been 7 years that I've been doing this. And you could see just how long it takes to start getting any traction, anything that's going. And that's the same thing in academia, where there's lots of people that do not pay attention. They don't care. And you have to keep going and have the gumption to do it no matter what. And here's the thing, the hardest part, and I think this is where people get messed up, and I think this is the hard part for if you're doing things where you need support, like weight loss, for example. It's not the distant people that hurt the most, it's people that are local. And that's the thing that is the most challenging. When, you don't feel like you're getting support in the local. And that's going to happen. That happens all the time. And you got to be okay with that. That's where you square your shoulders and keep going. And you don't listen to anybody else. And you have that gumption to keep going and be yourself. And, have faith in your ideas, have faith in yourself. And you tell the outside world, screw it. This is good enough, I'm good enough, and I'm going to keep working at it. And yes, they'll have some information that will be valid every once in a while that you can go and think about and change your ideas. But man, it's all about just keeping going and not not paying attention to the outside world, going lockstep, those steps forward, because you could see it. Maybe somebody very, very close to you can see it, but it's just steps forward, and that's it. And those steps take a long time. You're marching all by yourself. You know, the one movie scene that's actually really cool with this, that illustrates it, is Forrest Gump, which I'm watching right now with my kids. And the scene where he's running, and he just starts running around the country, and nobody is paying attention. And after, I don't know, weeks and months of running, the one person starts following, and then everybody starts following and paying attention. That's often what it's like, is you're doing a slow journey, and you have to be okay with that. So as I build out the reciprocity platform and making it so that we can get help on our writing, so we can really do some really cool, amazing things, as I build this out and add more features, as we build this thing out, and we add all sorts of stuff, and I tell the story, and people might start following along. And that's the key thing. Nobody's going to believe in you, but they might start believing in the process after. You just got to keep going with it. Day in and day out, and forget about the outside world. Absolutely, every single day you keep going. You don't give up on yourself. You don't give up on what you're trying to do, and take those steps forward. Everything in this life is hard to do. Everything that's meaningful in this life, that's hard to do. It's easy for me to eat a bag of potato chips. I love it, but man, I don't get much out of it. So just keep going, take those steps, and don't look back. Nobody is gonna freaking care anyways. They really aren't. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.